A big part of my story has to do with emotional eating and binge eating and drinking alcohol. So part of my journey has actually been finding a way to look back all the way back to the beginning when I was a teenager and really being able to uncover the truth about what happened when I was a teenager and how I kind of started on the path that I did. And, my parents divorced, well, they separated when I was 14, and my father was a drinker. And, I was just starting my teen years. I was extremely shy. And I started eating primarily at night, and I was sneaky eating way back then. And I have memories of being 15 and standing in the kitchen at night and taking my mother's malt bread and slicing slice after slice and slathering on butter and shoving it in my mouth and, peering over my shoulder, hoping that my mother wasn't going to walk in and catch me. And I have memories too of standing with these pounds of maple sugar, and I would just slice and slice and slice these and just eat it. And I became very addicted to sugar as a teenager. So I have had a troubled relationship, and I did Nutrisystem, I did Weight Watchers. I have all the Weight Watchers cookbooks down in the basement still today. I was always dieting and yo-yoing, but I never came from high numbers. I became very uncomfortable in my body quite quickly when I would put on a few pounds. And so I have lost and gained the same, 15 pounds. I don't even know how many times. But even back in high school, every year as I went through high school, one year I was heavy, one year I was thin, the next year I was heavy. And I did that through my high school years. So when I turned 60, I came across something called the path, and that's actually how I met Ginny as well. So I needed to deal with the alcohol first, really, before. I wasn't even thinking of dealing with the food, to be honest. And Ginny was one of my coaches in the PATH program. And I'm now roughly 575 days alcohol free. And alcohol truly is small and irrelevant in my life. And she was one of my two main coaches at the beginning. So I fell in love with Ginny, needless to say. I feel like she really saved my life. And when my mind cleared up, and when I wasn't numbing all of my emotions, and when I could start to look at more things in my life, I realized that my troubled emotional eating pattern was something that I really wanted to address. And I had come to know Ginny. I had come to have a great respect for her. And I heard about the Slender for Good program. And sometimes we just have to trust and jump on the train and just say, nobody can predict the future. I don't really know where this is going. I don't know for certainty that this is going to be successful for me, but I'm going to trust and I'm just going to do it. When I think of how I feel today, my sleep is better. My brain is much more clear. My anxiety is hugely reduced. I don't have cravings. I'm not sneaking food. I'm not wanting to eat at night. That was a big one. That took months and months and months to get over, some of these old patterns. I only thought I'd lose maybe 4 pounds. But eating this way, which is so unbelievably healthy, and addressing this relationship with sugar, I ended up losing 14 pounds, and I'm now at a weight that I haven't seen since my 20s. I never even dreamed that I would be at this weight again. It was completely gone for me. And then magically, it just happened. And I feel amazing. I feel amazing in my body, but I will say that's another thing that for me took months. It was a big psychological change for me. And initially, I would say I felt uncomfortable. I almost would say that I felt weird in my new, slimmer body. And I felt self-conscious around people. And when people would comment, and I didn't have that many comments because of COVID, I wasn't seeing people, but I'm over that now. And I feel comfortable in this slimmer, healthy body. I can move around. I bound up and down the stairs I feel free, I feel slim, it feels fantastic. But I had a bit of a, relationship with some depression through my life as well. And I would use the SAD for seasonal affective disorder, the light. I had one of the lights that I would need to use every year to feel okay. I haven't needed my bright light this year. It's been very gray, very dull. It's the middle of January. This is usually a really bad time of year for me when it comes to my mood. And I feel fantastic. So I feel like a lot of this has to do with this way of eating. I really, really do. And then the other thing I would say about your program, Ginny, is that what appealed to me was the small format. You're personally involved with each and every one of us. You genuinely want to get to know each of us. You always came up with these amazing topics, whether it was emotional eating or brain health or hormones or, but we just one by one went through this. And sometimes it was just coaching because some of us, we might have been going through a challenging time or had some events coming up like travel that we wanted to plan for. So we would just sit together and really address that. And you were so helpful with all of that. That was a really important part of the program for me as well. And for any of you, kind of hearing our stories today, and they're all different, and you're just sitting there wondering, should I or shouldn't I? My best thing would say is just do it. Just stop wavering and just say, I'm just going to do this.